cover number 22, graphing with intercepts. This is your student guided notes. Intercepts on a graph. So the x-intercept of a line is a point that of the line where the line crosses the x-axis. So if you've got your Cartesian coordinate system with x and y, your x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. Okay. At that point, let's just assume it's here, the y is 0. Okay. And to solve for the x-intercept, if you don't have a graph, you set your y equal to 0 and solve for x. The y-intercept of the line is a point that crosses the y-axis, and let's just assume that's right here is where it crosses. So we have a line that crosses the x-intercept, x right here, and y right here. At that point, x is 0, and to find the y-intercept, you set x equal to 0 and solve for y. Now let's go to part A, identifying intercepts. For a line that goes through the points 4, 0, and 0, negative 3. What is the x-intercept? What is the y-intercept? Okay, so you've got a line that goes through the points 4, 0. So let's just do a real quick drawing. And x, y. Remember, it's x and y. So your x is 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and your y is 0. So there's 4, 0. And 0, negative 3. Your x is 0, and your y is 1, 2, 3, negative 3. And this is a line that goes through these two points. The x-intercept is the one that is on the x-axis, so that is 4, 0. The y-intercept is the one for the y-axis, and that is 0, negative 3. Okay, so anytime you see an x-intercept, the y is always going to be 0, just like up here, the y is equal to 0. Anytime for the y-intercept, the x is 0. At that point, the x is 0. Okay. A graph showing a line crossing at 5, 0 and 0, 2 state both intercepts. Well, you can either draw it as I did, or you can just know that if it's the y is 0, that means it's an x-intercept is 5, 0. And where the x is 0, that is where it's the y-intercept. Okay. A line passes through 0, 0, the origin, and 2, 4. What are the x and y intercepts? Okay, well, here at 0, 0, x is 0, which means it's the y-intercept, but y is 0, so that means it's the x-intercept as well. So what are the x and y intercepts? The x-intercept and y-intercept are both 0, 0. Given a graph of a line that goes through the point negative 3, 0 and 0, 6, find both intercepts. Pause the video and do these next two yourself, and then come back to see how you did. Okay. So here we're given x and y is 0, so my x-intercept is negative 3, 0, and my y-intercept is where my x is 0 and I have a y value. There's both intercepts. A line crosses the axis at 0, 5, and 5, 0. Identify both intercepts. If you haven't done this, please pause the video and do so. Your x-intercept is where your y is 0, so 5, 0. And your y-intercept is where x is 0, so 0, 5. Find the intercepts from the equation. Find the intercepts of 2x plus y is equal to 6. All right, to find the x-intercept, you have to let y equal 0 and solve for x. Okay, so 2x plus y as 0 equals 6. This is 2x is equal to 6. Divide both sides by 2 because 2 is attached to x by multiplication. So divide both sides by 2 and we get x is equal to 3. So our x-intercept is 3, 0. To find our y-intercept, we have to let x equal 0. So for our y-intercept, we let x equal 0 and solve for y. So 2 times 0 plus y is equal to 6. 2 times 0 is 0. So y is equal to 6. So this is 0, 6 for your y-intercept. Find the intercepts of x minus y is equal to 5. So I would like for you to pause the video, do this one, come back to see how you did, then get to the next one, pause the video, then come back to see how you did. All right, do the same thing for these next 4. These are exactly the same. All right, but do them one at a time just to make sure you're in the right path. To find the x-intercept, we have to let our y equal to 0 and solve for x. So x minus where the y is, put 0 and solve for x. So this is 5, 0. This is my x-intercept. For the y-intercept, we have to let x equal 0. So 0 minus y is equal to 5. This is negative y is equal to 5. Now this is the same thing as negative 1y is equal to 5. So we want to get rid of that negative 1. It's currently multiplied to y, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 1. So y is equal to negative 5. So our y-intercept is 0, negative 5. All right, the next one, the intercepts. Let's do x-intercept first. So we have to let y equal 0 and solve for x. I'm going to move the 2x to the other side. 2 is attached to x by multiplication, so we have to divide both sides by 2. And x is equal to 4. So my x-intercept is 4, 0. The y-intercept, we have to let x equal 0 and solve for y. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, so 0 plus 8. Y is equal to 8. So my y-intercept is 0, 8. Pause the video and attempt this next one yourself. Let's do the x-intercept first. Let y equal 0. Solve for x. Negative 3 times 0 is 0, so that's gone. Divide both sides by 4 because 4 is attached to x by multiplication, so we divide both sides by 4, and x is equal to 3. So 3, 0 is my x-intercept. Y-intercept. We let x equal to 0 and solve for y. 4 times 0 is 0, so this is gone. We've got negative 3y is equal to 12. Negative 3 is attached to y by multiplication. The opposite of that is division, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. And y is equal to negative 12 divided by negative 3 is negative 4. So 0, negative 4 is my y-intercept. Find the intercepts of y equals 5x. Pause the video and attempt this one yourself, and then come back to see how you did. So for my x-intercept, I'm going to let y equal 0 and solve for x. 5 is attached to x by multiplication, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5. And x is equal to 0 divided by 5 is 0. So 0, 0 is my x-intercept. Now for my y-intercept, I'm going to let x equal to 0. 5 times 0 is 0. So 0, 0 is my y-intercept as well, which makes complete sense. For part C, we're graphing a line using intercepts, so we're only going to do 2. You can do the third point if you want to, but we chose in class just to find the x-intercept, the y-intercept, plot those points, and draw a line, because you really only need 2 points to create a line. The third point, we've already done that in a previous section, so I just want to make sure we can do our intercepts. Graph the line 3x minus 4y is equal to 12 using the intercept method. So find the intercepts. We're not going to pick a third point. We're going to plot and draw our line, and then we have to name it. We have to name our line. So for our x-intercept, we're going to let y equal 0. Please do this part yourself, and then come back to see how you did. Find your intercepts. Find your intercepts, and then come back and see how you did. All right, 3x, negative 4 times 0 is 0. Bringing the 12 down. 3 is attached to the x by multiplication, so we're going to divide both sides by 3, and x is equal to 4. So 4, 0 is my x-intercept. My y-intercept, I have to let x equal 0 and solve for y. 3 times 0 is 0, so now it's 4y, negative 4y equals 12. Negative 4 is attached to y by multiplication. The opposite of multiplication is dividing both sides by negative 4, and y will equal negative 3. So 0, negative 3 is my y-intercepts. Let's plot both of those points. 4, 0 is right here. 0, negative 3 is here. You draw a line through those 2 points. Make sure you have arrows going in both directions to let people know that it's going on and on forever. And then whenever I say to name it, that means go back to the original linear function and just write that down to name that line so people know what it's being referred to as. All right, I'm going to leave this up here. I want you to do the same thing for this next one. Find your x and y intercepts, plot them, draw your line with arrows, and then name it. Go ahead and pause the video, do that, and then come back to see how you did. So for my x-intercept, I have to let my y equal 0. X minus 0 is x equals 5. So 5, 0 is my x-intercept. My y-intercept, I have to let x equal 0. 0 minus y is negative y equals 5. Divide both sides by negative 1 because remember there's an assumed 1 there. And y equals negative 5. So 0, negative 5 is my y-intercept. 5, 0. Right here, 0, negative 5, right here, connect the dots, keep the line going with an arrow in both directions, and then lastly, name the line what was originally given. I don't want you to name the points, not for something like this, we just name our line. Last one, let's do this one. Graph the line 4x minus 3y equals 12 using intercept method. Find your x and y intercepts, plot the points, graph the line with arrows, and then name it. And then come back to see how you did. For the x-intercept, we're going to let y equal 0. 4x is equal to 12. Divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 3. So 3, 0 is my x-intercept. My y-intercept, 4 times 0 minus 3y is equal to 12. Negative 3y is equal to 12, and then negative 3 is attached to y by multiplication, so we're going to divide both sides by negative 3. Y is negative 4, so 0, negative 4. Okay, now I just need to plot those points. Indigestion. 3 is 0, 0, negative 4. Connect the dots, create your line with arrows, name your line. Okay. Same thing for this one. Pause the video, go do this one, come back to see how you did, and then we'll do the last one. The last one's going to be a little bit tricky, so I want to make sure that you are supported with it. So x-intercept, we let y equal 0. It doesn't matter which one you brought over. I'm just going to add 2x to both sides. 2 is attached to x by multiplication, so we have to divide both sides by 2. X is equal to 4. 4, 0 is my x-intercept. Y-intercept, I have to let my x equal 0. Negative 2 times 0 is 0, plus 8 is just 8. So 0, 8 is my y-intercept. Plot your points, 4, 0, 0, 8, 6, 7, 8. I just need a little bit more space for that. Connect the dots. Keep going in both directions with arrows. And then name your line. Alright, the last one here. Graph the line y equals negative 1/3 x plus 2 using intercept method. So let's find our x-intercept first, and that's going to be the hardest one based on this. I let my y equal 0. I'm going to move my negative 1/3 to the other side. Alright, I've got 1/3 x is equal to 2. So there's a couple different ways we can think about this. We can multiply both sides by the reciprocal of 1/3, which is 3/1. Or I'm going to tell you what I tell everyone to do. How to get rid of fractions. If you ever have a fraction like this, you can get rid of it just by multiplying both sides by the denominator. If you multiply both sides by the denominator, this becomes 3 over 3, which is 1, or you can see that it reduces 3 divided by 3, and this becomes just x, 1x. 2 times 3 is 6. So our x-intercept is 6, 0. Our y-intercept is where we let x equal 0. Anything times 0 is 0, so y is equal to 2. So 0, 2 is my y-intercept. Plot these points, 6, 0, 0, 2. Connect the dots. Continue them in both directions with arrows, just to show that they're continuing. And then lastly, name it. Okay. It says tips for success. Always check your intercepts by substituting back into the equation or plotting the points. You can do that if you want. Checking is definitely an option. When the intercepts are the same for both 0, 0, you're going to need to choose another point to draw a line, because you have to have at least 2 points to draw a line. Label your intercepts clearly in this method here, x and y intercepts. So x has 0 for y and y-intercept has 0 for x. Understand the meaning of the intercepts in word problems. We're going to do that in a later section. Okay. All right, that's it for 22. Let me know what questions you have. Good luck on the homework and talk to me. Let me know what questions you have so I can help you.